Yes, welcome back to another video, guys. And that's right, today we're back to talk about the latest MCU movie release in the cinema, and that is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, I was quite excited for this movie because I actually like Ant-Man. You know, he's this smaller scale character in just present day, just trying to get by in the world being a very small superhero. And the trailers for this one made it look much bigger, much grander, and the trailers were actually kind of cool. There was that one with a really good Elton John remix and stuff. And I was like, yeah, this looks quite good. And then the reviews come out about a week ago, and I got nervous. And I went to see it last night, and well, oh, this is an interesting movie, isn't it? So anyway, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania sees Scott Lang, Hope, who is of course the Wasp, his daughter Cassie, Hank Pym, and his wife Jeanette travel down to the quantum realm, only to find themselves trapped there with a psychopathic Kang trying to get out, and they need to stop him. The plot is pretty simple, and there really isn't much to it, to be honest. It feels like one of those filler episodes of Doctor Who you'd have when you used to watch those full seasons of like classic David Tennant, Matt Smith era Doctor Who, and you get that one in the middle where it's like, oh, we've got trapped here and we need to get out, and it's like, oh, this is a filler, we just need to get to the next one. That's what this movie feels like in the grand scheme of things with the MCU. It feels like complete filler, which is such a shame because this is the start of Phase 5 and it is introducing Kang the Conqueror properly to us. I know we saw him at the end of Loki, and I will say this, Loki done a much better job at building up this villain, and it done a much better job with him for the small time he was on screen. This movie, while you can have fun with it, it is not a terrible, disastrous movie like some people are making out, because of course it is very fun to hate on the MCU nowadays for a lot of people. It is not a complete dumpster fire train wreck. It is, however, a complete mess of a movie, and there are a lot of problems with it. But let me start off with the positives. First off, let me talk about the cast, because the cast for these movies is somehow fantastic, and they are all putting in good performances. Paul Rudd is always a pure joy to watch, and I feel bad kind of crapping on one of his movies because I just love him. He seems like the most lovely human, and one of the best people working in Hollywood. He always puts in a good performance, and I love the man. Then we've got Michelle Pfeiffer, who is also putting in a really stellar performance in this one. She really hasn't had any time to shine in the MCU yet because she hasn't had much screen time in her other two movies she's in. So it's really nice to see her not only get a lot of screen time here, but put in a really solid performance with it. Michael Douglas is good. Evangeline Lilly is good in the movie. And Jonathan Majors absolutely kills it as Kang. While I have some problems with Kang in this movie, his performance was fantastic, and it's purely down to him that I'm looking forward to seeing Kang again. I'm looking forward to seeing this man in the MCU more because such a good actor, and I'm so excited to see him in Creed 3 as well. Okay, another positive I want to talk about is the visual effects, and no, this isn't for 100% of the movie. There's some bad visual effects moments, which I'm going to get to. But, you know, for a film that's like 90% visually, visual CGI and green screen, a good portion of it does look good overall. You know, you can criticise the bits that stand out because there are bits that stand out, just like a lot of MCU films. But, you know, the backdrops look great. There are some characters which look really cool. And the powers, of course. Watching Ant-Man grow and seeing Kang use his powers in this one, they look cool. So, you know, I'd say about 80% of the visuals in this do look pretty good. But there is a good 20% that are really going to hinder your overall thoughts on the effects. And yeah, as I say, the plot itself, it's fine. It is what it is. It's very basic. It's very generic. It's not really a positive. It's just like, yeah, I'm not going to criticise it too much. It is what it is. Okay, let's move on to the negatives because I can't lie, I have a few. And I must admit, I'm very, very disappointed in this movie. Why? Just because, as I say, it feels so fillery. And on top of that, you've got this very, very generic looking in terms of like its colour palette. You've got all these crazy places and monsters you're seeing, but it doesn't want to utilise any of that. It all looks very bland, like we've been here before, let's just skip over that. We've got to focus on Ant-Man. It's like, explore this world a bit. The score as well. I actually quite like the Ant-Man themes and stuff. Dun, 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 dun. You know, there's some cool music in the first Ant-Man films, actually. And this one is back to just generic stuff. And Peyton Reed, Marvel, look, if you are going to do an Ant-Man 4, I don't know if, you know, I really want that, to be honest, anymore. But if you are going to do it, just do not Peyton Reed again. Stop hiring this man. I know he had that good Mandalorian episode, but you know for a fact, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were just looking over that man like a hawk, you know. He has made 3 of the most blandest movies I've ever seen. And look, I do like the first 2 Ant-Man films, I do. But it's purely down to the writing and the fun charisma that the comedic actors in that one bring. It's just such a bland movie. He's such a boring director. So yeah, please, Marvel, don't have him do your 4th one. And then, okay, let's talk about the villains, because I have problems with all of them. There's 3 villains in this. First off, I want to say Bill Murray. I absolutely love Bill Murray. He's like genuinely one of my favourite actors on the planet. And for the small time he's on screen in this, he's great, but he is completely wasted in the movie. It seems so pointless to have him in this film and have him where he is. You don't even really know what happens to his character, to be honest. He sort of just walks in screen and then sort of walks off. And it was like, what the hell? Why get him for that? MODOK. Oh my god. Like, when I say my cinema burst out laughing when his mask come off, I'm not even exaggerating. Every time he come on screen, people were pissing themselves. Not in the good way. It was just, he was so bad. Everything about him was bad. The fact it was Darren Locke from the first Ant-Man film is the funniest thing enough. Also, the actor is putting in a really rough performance as him. Visually, he looks so bad. His dialogue was terrible. And what he does at the end, I'm not going to spoil it, but it was so funny. I like we've got this big serious battle going on, and what he's doing, this feels like it's out of some other movie. It was so bad. I kind of low-key loved MODOK because of how terrible he was. And it's a shame because I actually like that character. I read a few comics with him in, and I like him in the Avengers game. But my god, they couldn't have got him more wrong here. He's done so poorly. And then we get to Kang, and Kang, look, as I say, Jonathan Major puts in a great performance, and the build-up to him is kind of cool. And the first few scenes with him, he's very threatening. And I was like, here we go, the movie is going to pick up. But then, unfortunately, in the final act, Kang is really dumb. Like, he's really stupid. Like, he forgets his powers. Like, when you see it in the trailer, he levitates people and stuff. In the final fight, he just forgets he can do all this. And I don't mean in the very, very final fight with him, because people have seen it and know what I mean. But there's a bit where, like, he's walking out, and again, you see it in the trailer, and he's, like, shooting laser beams out of his hands. It's like, gonna forget about your other powers, mate? Yeah, of course you are, because obviously you're too strong for Ant-Man, and you need to let Ant-Man beat you in this one. So, yeah, I don't know. Kang, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing him again because of the actor and because of the end credit scenes, which were pretty cool. But in this movie, it wasn't the best introduction for him, I don't think. I think this high praise for him is just people like, oh my god, we're finally seeing him. And I get it, it is exciting to see this new big villain, but overall, it wasn't the best introduction, I don't think. So, yeah, also, what else have I got? I thought the actress who played Cassie, I feel a bit bad because I've seen her put in a couple of good performances in other movies, but I thought she was quite wooden here. And, yeah, overall, there's just a lot of visual effects. Like, it's always characters. I say the backdrops for this movie look fantastic, but then there'll be close-ups on, like, Cassie running as Ant-Girl, whatever she's called, or there'll be a close-up on one of the aliens, and it's like, that needed polishing up. Like, what the hell's happening? But nothing will top MODOK's look. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. The Wasp. Why is the Wasp in the title? She does nothing in this movie. Like, she has no presence. You forget she's there. Like, it's all about Ant-Man and Kang. And, you know, Michelle Pfeiffer's character. Like, there's no Wasp in this movie. Yeah, it's a real shame. And I've got to say as well, the writing was so poor in this movie. And I looked it up. And the writer from this movie, this is like his first blockbuster. He's written 2 episodes of that terrible Jimmy Kimmel show. And, you know, now he's done this, which hasn't gone over well at all. He's writing the next Avengers films, guys. Like, I know he's doing Kang Dynasty. Marvel, no, please get some good writers. This is an Avengers movie, okay? I know people are going off Marvel and these superhero films at the minute, but the Avengers films, I think people will still look forward to. Please get a good writer for that one. Please. So yeah, I'm trying to think if I've missed anything. But the more I process this movie, the more I don't like it. But as I say, you can have fun with it. I don't want to completely slate it. It isn't a dumpster fire like some people make it out. I'm going to be a bit kind of my score. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It's a middle-of-the-road movie for me. If I come back to review this film when it comes on Disney+, the score very well may drop. This is exactly how it worked for Thor: Love and Thunder for me. I walked out saying, yeah, it was okay. And then I watched it again and I was like, no, I didn't enjoy that. So, you know, you never know what rewatch is going to do. It was on the big screen. It was there and it had its fun moments, for sure. As I say, it doesn't deserve, like, the 1 out of 10s it's getting on, like, IMDb and stuff. It doesn't deserve that. But it is not a very good movie. And I'm thoroughly disappointed. MCU, Marvel, please get back on track a bit. I'm really looking forward to Guardians Volume 3, to be fair. I very much am looking forward to that. And Loki Season 2. So let's hope they're better, because this film was a complete mess. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a message. And as always, I'll see you next time for another video. Bye-bye.